Hey guys, it's me, your favorite deranged EV man, and today we're back to, Kirby. Okay, so Kirby Squeak Squad, game made for the DS, one of the most divisive Kirby games, yada yada, I'm sure you know the song and dance. I explained way better in part 1, so please go watch it if you're seeing this video, because I don't exactly plan on explaining every little bit of movement like I did in the last video. The last video pretty much goes over everything that I use in this video, but what you need to know, at least now, is Kirby lacks moves that can turn him to the right, and also lacks moves that can move him right as well. In the prior video, 2 abilities outclassed every other ability because they are the rare abilities that can flip directions. Those abilities being Ninja and Tornado, which both fill different roles entirely, one being precise but slow, and the other being fast but lacking the ability to be precise. If you want a more in-depth explanation on other abilities, you kind of have to watch the first part if you want this to make any sense. But as it stands, this video will continue where we left off, but before we get into that, time to beg for subs again. If you would be so kind, please subscribe. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and well, it would mean a lot if you did show your appreciation by liking and subscribing. Not that you have to. We last left off on World 5. Kirby, after successfully kicking that robot to the ground and curbing it, he continues to follow the path of breadcrumbs into an active volcano. Kirby, stop! Don't go in there! Kirby, no!
This is the key to everybody's room.
Row has the key to everyone's room. Get out.
God, I hope that intro was good enough to kind of get you into the gist of this. This video will be similarly structured to the one before. I will be going over any level that I viewed as somewhat difficult and skipping levels that were easy. 5-1, after the small break I had, was a nice refresher into this challenge. It wasn't too difficult, but it did have some parts that I found at least a little interesting. Like this chest was a nightmare to get, and also this 4th star seal chest in the game, which means I have to collect it. Thankfully it was easy, so I had no problems. 5-2, on the other hand, was actually pretty interesting. It was a very precise level, requiring my ninja ability skills to be on point, or I would lose it and have to start over. Maybe I could have grabbed Tornado in an earlier level, but that's boring! The first room was relatively easy, at least to a point, and the second was pretty precise overall, but I did end up kicking myself into a spot where I can get up to about here, which then I try to kick this enemy before it jumps over me, and I land in the lava. It's times like this where I'm glad to have extra abilities stored in the bubble compartment. And the third room was, you watch it. I think it's pretty neat. The 4th and 5th rooms are not really too interesting, to be honest, except for this jump, which was barely possible. And the last room's chest is impossible to grab, because of course it is. It requires an ability that I would not be able to use for later things, and I would have to get a storage ability, and I didn't really want to waste it here. 5-3 is kind of easy, just being a mini boss rush. The only things interesting that are here are the ninja ability scroll, which I get later on, but we will get there. And the fact that it took me forever to beat as ninja just to find out that the last room is impossible with it. No wall, so can't wall jump. So I had to go back and then plow through it with Tornado. This level took me 20 minutes though, which I think is really funny. And is also 2/3 of the runtime of the recording. Not even joking. Thankfully, 5-4 is easy besides maybe this one button chest, but then again it only took me like 4 tries or so to get. And that's it. The boss is completely trivialized thanks to Tornado, and we can go freeze our collective teeth often. World 6 is one of the most fun worlds in the game. It is also the one that took me the least amount of time, having a 40-ish minute recording session. But that doesn't mean it was easy or boring. The first level was pretty easy though. It does utilize pretty unique tech, at least in this room, which only applies to Ninja though. Ninja can walk on water, which makes it so it's kind of the only ability that can consistently traverse it without issue, unlike Tornado or Fighter for example. Its downward kicks can even land on the water without plunging you into it. I'm sure this won't be important for the future, but it's a nice tech nonetheless. The rest of the level is cake though, and we can slip our way into, in my opinion, the best level in the entire challenge. Or at least the one I had the most fun playing through. 6-2, as previously stated, is, in my opinion, the best level in the entire challenge. The reason I say this is because 1, it's a possible level, and 2, it has a good amount of meat to it that makes it a genuine joy to go through, at least when I was playing it. Even when I had to reset the few times that I did, I was still thoroughly enjoying it and wasn't dreading playing through it again. Alright, so the first room is a more formal introduction to ice physics in this game. To break it down, you can slide kick further, and you just generally slide around with any sort of momentum that you have. But also off cliffs, you will get a bigger momentum boost, so it's usually better, but less precise. The first room requires some tight movements with Ninja, having to land on these star platforms while enemies are around it. I accidentally slide into these spikes a few times, lose Ninja, and barely save myself from being impaled again while also gaining distance. I eventually end up under here. Thankfully, even if I did get hit, I can easily grab my copy ability and continue. These moving platforms were not too difficult to get on, but I had to kill these penguins to ensure I kept Ninja. Room 2 is an easy room having a chest and that's it. Room 3 is essentially a straight line, and then we get to my favorite room in the challenge. This room has ropes that can either spawn or break things, as well as these little fire capsules. This room is filled to the brim with shotzos, these little cannons, and you could just barely cross these gaps while also not getting hit by the shotzos, thankfully. This one shotzo, it's borderline impossible to land on this tiny strip right here, so what you have to do is use Ninja Kick at the right spot, then just spam it until you're across the gap before the shotzo can shoot you. And I'll just show you the rest rather than expand on the section any longer. Might not be the craziest thing ever, but I did have a ton of fun playing and planning this level, a lot more than the other levels that I played. Oh, and I also get Snow, a top 3 spray paint ever. Moving on, it is less time consuming, being fully possible, and I almost thought that Hammer could be a useful ability. I was wrong. 6-4 is easy for the most part, having some annoying sections like this one with Tornado. I swap to Ninja at the end and secure the bag of all the chests. 6-5 is a big joke. I don't even want to explain it, so I'm just gonna say, if you got this far, leave a comment talking about your favorite game theory. This is because I need something to say here so I can show you the mice getting obliterated. Me personally, it's Sans' Nest. It's too iconic to not be the best. Okay, hopefully they're all dead now, and I could talk about the boss, which is easy. That's all I thought. It's too easy. So Kirby has finally gotten the very important package. Or it might be DDD's, but Kirby didn't care. He just was gonna eat it anyways. But before he could do all of that, the man himself, Metal Guy, comes in and steals the chest. God damn it! He then locks himself in some area to hide the chest and stuff that needs like 5-star seals to get open, which we do have now. So Kirby stuffs them in, and we can talk about.
Yeah! Living like the life of a new star for everyone. Living like the life of a new I watch the rising sun. Living like the life of a new I'm always on the run. I just got this game yesterday, so I don't know. Tell me you're always stopping.
Hell. This world was hell. Not because it was difficult, but as the chapter name implies, this is the water world, so to speak. You wanna watch our right press counter shoot up? Well, World 7 kicks off with, obviously, 7-1, and this first room gave me hope, only to trick stab me unfairly and show me this room. No attempts will make this room possible, so I'm gonna have to call a fish here and add 1 right press to the count. But of course, that's not all, my friends. the next room requires right press too. Oh, but of course, the next room requires not just one, but 2 whole right presses. Because it wouldn't be a water level if it required 50 million right presses. Yay! Kill me! The following room is thankfully merciful, as well as the final, just requiring some slick tornado moves, and that's it. Which means this one level alone doubles the amount of right presses to the count. Just add 4. Just add 4 now. 7-2 is easy, but my dumbass went on a side quest because of course I did, and I went to go back to 5-3 to get the ninja ability scroll, which is when I made a discovery I never thought was possible. Legends always told of 2 abilities that would be reigning champions, but if put to the test, a 3rd ability could rise the ranks. But which could it be? It can't be fire. Definitely not ice. And it isn't hammer. But when all hope seemed lost, to find our 3rd most useful copy ability, a faint glow was in the distance. It was calling my name, and it had been around since the beginning of the challenge. It had been staring me right in the face, and when all hope was lost in this one room... Alright, so yeah, this is sudden, but we actually have a 3rd ability of extreme utility to add to our kit. Animal is an interesting ability. It was introduced and only featured as playable in this game, and its only true utility comes when you unlock its ability scroll, which gives you the access to its drill attack, which can be used at a wall and on the ground, which when you are facing left, it moves you right. This fact actually makes it so 5-3 is possible with Animal, but not Ninja. Anyways, that was a long tangent. 7-3. Animal comes in to get this chest, and then... this level shoots a few rounds into me, and we have 2 more right presses to the count.
Hey guys, it's me, Editing Carlin. I'm using text-to-speech cause my voice is killing me. So I didn't notice that it's actually 3 right presses for this room. For some reason I just kept counting 2 and only noticed it now. So this world in the challenge has +1 on the counter, sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah, because that's just so fair. I love this game. 7-4 only adds 1 in the first room and a 2nd in the second room. Thankfully, no more. 7-5 is possible with wheel, cause left, and Meta Knight is an easy boss. This world adds 8 right presses to our total count. It adds 8 right presses to our total count. I fucking love this game. I love water. 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 So back to our story. Meta Knight passes away like Logan 30acre, and Kirby gets the package. And right as he's about to open it, you'll never guess what happens next. The Mickey Mouse steals the chest and then becomes evil and shit and goes to space or something. That's literally what happened. You can't make this up. Power Scaler's gonna be having a field day with this story.
I hate my fucking son! Fuck! I hate my rotten son! Ungrateful boy! Ungrateful boy! Rotten boy! Rotten boy! I hate my son! I hate my son!
World 8 is our home stretch. 3 more levels and 1 boss to secure the end of the challenge, at least for the main story. As for the first level, it's so easy that I'm literally just gonna skip it. 8-2, not so much. Tornado is my best friend for a short amount of time, clearing a few areas with ease, because, of course, it does. This leads me to a room where I swapped to Ninja. This is Ninja's time to shine. Unfortunately, 1 right press is required to get past this area. But if you remember, Ninja can walk on water, which means seemingly impossible areas with abilities like Animal or Tornado are fully possible with Ninja's uniquely designed kit. Even with this waterfall, which I suspected to require a right press, is actually very possible because of Ninja's sheer downward kick speed. I would have never expected for Ninja to come and clutch as much as it did here, but this is why it's legend status. And after that, the room is pretty easy, just being Ninja walking on water And honestly, the rest of the level is really not important. I just wanted to talk about that room. 8-3 is our penultimate level. The final boss is easy, so this is our gauntlet. I start with Ninja, which helps a ton for the first few rooms. But then, I have to make sure I get this one chest. So I swap to Animal, and after a ton of struggling, I am able to get a proper path to make it to the chest, before safely moving on. Animal further proves its worth as precise, with the next room being fully possible thanks to its momentum conserving. The next few rooms are fully possible. I don't think I really have to explain them, but I do sadly lose Animal like right here, and I could swap to Tornado, but for some reason I don't, and I end up picking up Laser. After some struggling, this room is fully possible to beat, Rightless surprisingly being one of the only possible rooms with base Kirby. Ending with the final level of the game. Dark DeRoach is easy. I don't think I really have to explain that. It took me 2 attempts, but Tornado completely wipes the floor with him, and it's not even close. And that's it. Kirby kills Dark DeRoach, and Dark Nebula, I'm sorry, but you're fucking evil, so I'm gonna have to kill you. Any last words, old friend? Your mom is fat. Bro, you had the chance to say anything else, but you're gonna die on a fucking mom joke? Fuck you! So, that's the story. Kirby goes home and he gets the box from the Squeaks, and inside it has, I don't know, this is the FNAF 4 box of my channel, screw you. So, is it possible to beat Kirby Squeak Squad without pressing right? Hello? Have you been watching the video? Why did you ask me that? Jokes aside, no, it's not possible. And I'm sure we all want our results, so here they are. World 1 has a total of 2 right presses. World 2 contained none. Worlds 3 and 4 both had 1. Worlds 5 and 6 had 0. World 7 had 8. And finally, World 8 had 1. Which leaves us with a total of 13 right presses. Yeah! Most of these coming from instances of traversing water, unsurprisingly. In fact, I'm pretty sure all of them are from water, which means I can put an end to this small series. I'd be lying if I said this wasn't a fun video to make, because, for what it's worth, I did enjoy replaying this game with a random twist. This challenge did take way longer to beat than most of them, despite being objectively easier than the others in many, many different ways. But as it stands, I had fun, and I hope you found enjoyment in this, frankly, all over the place video. If you did, it would be really nice if you liked and subscribed, but obviously that's not a requirement, but would be nice. If this video does well enough, I will consider making a part 3 to clear up a 100% playthrough of the game, but time will tell. Hopefully, I see you all sooner than later with a new video. My name is Carbon, I'm still hyperfixated on Forsaken. See ya!
Get higher! Get higher! Get higher!
Simple and